What if the moon landing was faked, your water is drugged, the government is tracking you with 5G, and a secret cabal of lizard people runs the entire planet? What if, stay with me, some of that actually turned out to be true? Today we're cracking open the TOP20 conspiracy theories that broke the internet. Buckle up, folks. This one goes deep. Welcome back, people. You clicked. Smart move. Because today we're doing something nobody in the mainstream media has the guts to do. We're laying out every single one of the biggest, wildest, most viral conspiracy theories of the modern era, side by side, source by source, and letting you decide what's crazy and what's uncomfortably not crazy. From QAnon to chemtrails, from flat Earth to the Illuminati, from vaccine microchips to fake celebrity deaths, these theories have collectively been shared billions of times online. They have cost people their jobs, ended friendships, and in some cases, genuinely changed history. So who's right? Who's lying? And why does this stuff keep going viral? Let's find out. One theory at a time, 20 of them. Here's what the experts, academics, and fact-checkers say, and look, some of it is pretty reasonable. Listen up. Hash 1. The moon landing was faked. NASA landed on the moon 6 times between 1,969 and 1,972. The scientific community, independent space agencies worldwide, and even the Soviet Union, America's sworn rival at the time, confirmed it was real. There is retroreflector equipment sitting on the lunar surface right now that any telescope operator can bounce a laser off of to verify the landings happened. Hash 2. The Earth is flat. Every space agency on Earth, every independent satellite operator, every airline navigator, and basic physics says the Earth is an oblate spheroid. GPS, flight paths, and ocean tides all depend on a spherical Earth model to function. If Earth were flat, your phone's GPS would be useless. Hash 3. QAnon. QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory claiming a secret cabal of Satan-worshipping, cannibalistic pedophiles operates a global child sex trafficking ring, and that hidden figure called Q, a supposed government insider, is exposing them. Fact-checkers, the FBI, and academic researchers have classified QAnon as a dangerous disinformation movement. Its predictions have repeatedly failed to materialize. Hash 4. COVID-19 was a planned pandemic. The World Health Organization, the CDC, independent virologists, and peer-reviewed research trace COVID-19 to a natural zoonotic spillover event. The plandemic viral video was debunked by scientists at institutions including the Scripps Research Institute. Hash 5. Vaccines contain microchips. No, vaccines do not contain microchips. The ingredients of every approved vaccine are publicly listed by regulatory agencies. The technology to embed a functional microchip in a syringe needle does not exist in any form that could survive injection. Hash 6. 5G causes COVID-19 or cancer. 5G is a radio frequency technology. Viruses are biological organisms. Radio waves cannot create or transmit viruses. The WHO, FCC, and independent research bodies confirm 5G operates well within safe electromagnetic frequency limits. During 2020, this conspiracy theory led to over 90 arson attacks on cell towers across the UK alone. Hash 7. Chemtrails are chemical weapons. The contrails left by aircraft are condensation, water vapor, freezing in cold atmospheric air. Atmospheric scientists, aviation engineers, and meteorologists all confirm this. A 2016 survey of 77 atmospheric scientists found 77 of 77 did not believe chemtrails were evidence of secret spraying programs. Hash 8. The Illuminati controls everything. The Illuminati was a real secret society. The Bavarian Illuminati, founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. It was dissolved by 1785 following a government crackdown. Historians find no credible evidence of its survival or continuation into a modern shadow government. Hash 9. JFK was killed by a government conspiracy. The Warren Commission concluded Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. However, and this is notable, the House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1979 concluded there was probably a conspiracy, though it couldn't identify the conspirators. This is one theory where the official story itself is divided. Hash 10. Paul McCartney died in 1966 and was replaced. Paul McCartney is alive. He has given thousands of interviews, concerts, and public appearances across 6 decades. The theory originated from listeners playing Beatles records backward and finding supposed clues. He is, in fact, fine. Hash 11. The deep state runs the U.S. government. Political scientists acknowledge that career government bureaucracies, intelligence agencies, and institutional inertia can constrain elected officials. However, a coordinated, hidden shadow government with centralized control is not supported by credible evidence. 12 birds aren't real. This one was actually launched as deliberate satire by Peter McIndoe in 2017 to mock conspiracy culture. It became so popular that some people started genuinely believing it. The joke eventually wrote an article about itself. 13. Reptilian elites rule the world. Promoted extensively by David Icke, this theory claims global elites are actually shape-shifting reptilian aliens. There is no scientific evidence for this. Notably, researchers point out the theory has anti-Semitic undertones in how it identifies its supposed perpetrators. 14. The Philadelphia Experiment. The U.S. Navy supposedly made a warship invisible and teleported it in 1943. The Navy has officially denied this. No credible documentation, crew records, or physical evidence supports it. 15. Princess Diana was murdered. The official French and British investigations concluded Diana died in a high-speed car crash caused by driver Henry Paul, who was intoxicated. Multiple independent inquiries reached the same conclusion. No credible evidence of murder has been produced. 16. The New World Order. The idea that global elites, bankers, politicians, and secret society members are engineering a single authoritarian world government. While globalization and international institutions like the UN and WEF are real, there is no documented evidence of a coordinated secret world government plot. 17. Area 51 hides aliens. Area 51 is a real U.S. Air Force facility in Nevada used for classified aircraft testing. The CIA officially acknowledged its existence in 2013. Declassified documents confirm it housed programs like the U-2 and SR-71 spy planes, not extraterrestrial spacecraft. 18. The Great Reset is a globalist takeover. The World Economic Forum launched a Great Reset initiative in 2020 to promote sustainable economic recovery post-COVID. Critics online reframed it as a sinister global power grab. The WEF's plans are publicly published. Whether you find them alarming or boring is a different question. 19. Water fluoridation is mass medication. Fluoride has been added to public water supplies since the 1940s to reduce tooth decay, a practice endorsed by the WHO, CDC, and ADA. Critics argue this constitutes forced mass medication without individual consent. Courts have upheld fluoridation as a public health measure. 20. The 2020 election was stolen. Every court, over 60 cases, that examine claims of widespread election fraud in the 2020 U.S. presidential election rejected them for lack of evidence. Election officials from both parties, including Trump-appointed judges and Attorney General William Barr, stated the election results were legitimate. Now hold on. Before you dismiss all of this as tinfoil hat nonsense, let's be fair, because some conspiracy theories turned out to be completely, verifiably true. And the establishment got caught. CIA's MK-Ultra program, secret mind control experiments on unwitting American civilians, was a real conspiracy, confirmed by declassified documents. COINTELPRO, the FBI's secret program to surveil, infiltrate, and destroy civil rights organizations, was a real conspiracy. The NSA mass surveillance program exposed by Edward Snowden in 2013, a real conspiracy, confirmed in full. The Tuskegee syphilis experiments, the Gulf of Tonkin incident used to escalate the Vietnam War, the CIA-backed overthrow of democratically elected governments in Iran and Chile, all confirmed conspiracies. What this means, according to researchers like Rob Brotherton, author of Suspicious Minds, is that the problem isn't the act of questioning authority, it's the quality of evidence used to reach a conclusion. Healthy skepticism is rational. Paranoid pattern matching without evidence is not. Psychologists note that conspiracy belief spikes during periods of social uncertainty, pandemics, economic crashes, political upheaval because the human brain craves explanations. Random bad events feel less threatening when someone is in control, even a villain. All right, folks, this is the part of the show I both love and deeply regret. I have a guest. His name doesn't matter. What matters is what he's about to say. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let's start with the moon landing. NASA has never allowed independent third-party verification of the original mission film. The raw, unedited footage was reportedly erased. NASA admitted in 2009 that the original telemetry tapes were degaussed and reused. You erased the tapes of the moon landing. Why would you do that?
They said it was an accident, a clerical error, very normal stuff, erasing the most important footage in human history.
Stanley Kubrick had just directed 2001, A Space Odyssey in 1968. 1 year later, we supposedly filmed men walking on the moon in the same era with the same technology, and it looks better than a Hollywood production. Look at the lighting. Look at the shadows. They're inconsistent with a single source light from the sun.
Okay, get a load of this. The man is accusing NASA of hiring a film director. What's next? The astronauts were actors.
I'm just saying. The timing, the technology, and the missing originals deserve more than a shoulder shrug. Moving on. Chemtrails. In 2012, the US government passed the National Defense Authorization Act, which includes provisions allowing for the testing of chemical and biological agents on civilian populations under specific conditions. The US military did spray zinc cadmium sulfide over St. Louis in the 1950. That's confirmed.
Oh, he's got documents now. Wait, the St. Louis thing is actually real.
Declassified. The Army admitted it in 1994. So when someone says governments have never sprayed populations from the air, that's historically false. Whether it's still happening is the question. And the question deserves to be asked. Who benefits from dismissing it entirely?
Okay. I'm not comfortable with how calm you are right now. Let's do QAnon. Please tell me this one is pure nonsense so I can breathe again.
QAnon mixed real documented issues. Jeffrey Epstein's very real child sex trafficking network, which implicated powerful individuals with elaborate fabrications. The FBI actually classifies QAnon as a domestic terrorism threat. But here's what's interesting. The real Epstein story broke years before Q. Rich and powerful men running a trafficking operation. That part wasn't a theory. That was a conviction.
So you're saying QAnon took a real crime and weaponized it into fiction?
Precisely. Which is how the best disinformation works. You take something real, something that makes people's skin crawl, and you wrap it in enough fantasy that the whole thing becomes dismissible. Throw out the bathwater, lose the baby.
That is, you cannot be serious. That is actually one of the more intelligent things I've heard. I hate it. Let's do 5G.
5G cancer claim is almost certainly overblown. Non-ionizing radiation at those frequencies doesn't damage DNA the way ionizing radiation does. I'll grant them that. But the rollout of 5G infrastructure happened on a timeline that overlapped with COVID, and the surveillance capabilities of a fully realized 5G network, real-time location tracking of every device, everywhere, are not conspiracy fiction. That's the stated technical spec.
So you're separating the 5G causes viruses crowd from the 5G is a surveillance grid crowd.
One group burned cell towers. The other group reads the technical documentation. Very different people.
Oh, it gets better. Let's do the reptilians, please.
Not here to defend lizard people. I will say this. David Icke's reptilian framework, which even I find absurd, emerged from a tradition of identifying a specific class of global financial elites who operate largely outside democratic accountability. The metaphor that powerful people act in predatory, inhuman ways toward ordinary citizens is not a metaphor everyone finds unreasonable.
So the lizard people are a metaphor.
The lizard people are a metaphor that got taken extremely literally by people who were understandably very angry about income inequality.
I need a minute.
The Great Reset is worth 30 seconds. The World Economic Forum's 2030 goals explicitly include phrases like "you."